Hello, 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 hello. Happy Wednesday. We're live on Facebook. Let me go live straight away on Instagram as well to not waste any time. Today we are live to speak about how you can better memorize yogic vocabulary. So this really speaks to the vocabulary that you use in your yoga classes. So that really means body parts, anatomy, maybe even organs and the meridians. Maybe you want to teach according to maybe mental and emotional states. So we're going to not speak about the vocabulary that you use. If you are interested in what type of vocabulary you learn and how to choose the vocabulary that you want to use for your yoga classes, watch last week's training. In last week's training, I spoke about 10 yogic vocabularies that you need to know about to teach yoga in English. This week's training is all about how to memorize it. All right, so I'm just going to share the link in the Facebook group. So no man's left behind and we can everyone can watch it. And let's see. So for those that are joining, let me know. Oh, I'm not sure if the audio, let me just double check if the audio is on. I'm not sure. Yeah, it is. It is. Let me just, okay. So for those that are watching, let me know, do you find it challenging to remember yoga vocabulary, or do you find it challenging to remember vocabulary in general? So vocabulary that you're learning in a foreign language. Is this something that you are struggling with? Celiane is here. Asena Keskin. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right, but thank you for joining. Excited to see you all. So let me start off with telling you about our challenge, because it's really exciting. In a month from now, so from the 1st to the 3rd of July, I'm hosting a challenge which is called Teach Yoga in English. And there I will teach you the foundations that you need to build to teach for your international yoga career. So you will cultivate a mindset for effective learning and for success. I will help you learn vocabulary that you actually need to upgrade your communication skills. And I will also teach you how to set realistic goals that you can set for yourself to have a successful international career. So it's really to help you prevent from overwhelm, from frustration, to give you an idea of where to start and how to continue. If you're interested in joining, you can register now for free until the 30th of June. So you've got a whole month from today on to register for free. The link is in my bio on Instagram, and I will share the link here on Facebook if you're interested in this. So check that out. But today, it's all about how to memorize vocabulary more effectively according to your teaching style, according to your learning style. So I think it was about a year ago. No, it was not a year. It was in around July or August last year that I spoke about learning styles. And today I want to refresh your memory a little bit on this, because it's really important to know your learning style to actually learn vocabulary. So most language learners say that one of the most challenging things about learning a language is to memorize new vocabulary. And people have the diverse opinions on this. It's very dependent on where you live, who your teachers were before, your schooling system, and your personal learning style. So some people say that due to the information that they already need to remember in their daily life, whatever it is, it's even more challenging to remember vocabulary. There's a lot of information that they already store in their brains. Other people say it's challenging because they are too old and only young people can memorize vocabulary well or can memorize any new information well. It could be that it's a lack of concentration that makes you lack focus or makes you lose focus when you're learning something. But I believe these 3 reasons for not being able to remember vocabulary are myths. They really aren't true. They are things that we tell ourselves, but really aren't the reason for you to not being able to remember vocabulary. I believe it's a standardized study technique that isn't working for you. So you're using standardized techniques that you've been taught in school, that maybe you've used before, but are no longer working for you. So in this training, I'm going to explain how you can better memorize vocabulary and what you can do to find out how you can use the right tools for you. So let's start with what memorization is. So what really is the skill or the concept of memorization? And I think it's the human mind. The human mind is super fascinating. We are capable of a lot more things than you probably think. So sometimes you remember something random a friend told you 10 years ago, but sometimes you finish reading a paragraph of a book and you realize that you weren't even aware of what you were reading. So the Cambridge Dictionary defines memorization as the act or the process of learning something so that you will remember it exactly. So that's the definition according to the Cambridge Dictionary. Now, according to Rick Hagener, forgive me if I'm not pronouncing the name right, memorization is not a simple task. So he claims memorization is a biological process, and he explains that when even remembering the simplest thing, we create or we form neuronal connections called synapses. So the more we practice, the more we see something, do something, read something, write something, the more you repeat it, the stronger the synapses get. Therefore, because of the repetition, the information will stick to your brain. If you do not practice or if you do not repeat it, the synapses will get weaker. And all of that results in forgetting information that you've maybe integrated before, but you can't remember it. So one of the biggest or most important things to memorize anything is repetition. And for those that have been following me for a while, you know that I speak about this all the time. So repetition is one of the most important things. But the way you repeat things depends on your, the way you repeat things to memorize it for yourself, that depends on your learning style. So understanding your learning style can help you memorize better. Forgetting things or not memorizing things is not as bad as you may think, because your brain also automatically does its job to select information that it considers important and disregards everything that it believes to be irrelevant or not important for you right now. That means that if you're learning something, even though you find it interesting, it might be that you have to take a step back and go back to the beginning or the foundation of something. And especially when it comes to vocabulary, say that you're learning body parts or anatomy or things to do with more advanced things to do with the body. It may be that the anatomy is very challenging for you right now because the vocabulary that becomes before that, you haven't integrated or haven't fully embodied yet, right? So I'm going to speak about that in a moment as well. After years of teaching English, so teaching English in general for exams, for classroom learning, I've been teaching many different personalities and many people from different cultural backgrounds, and therefore observed the techniques that I'm going to share with you in practice. For that reason, I know as well that the method that you use might not work for you, simply because it doesn't match the learning style that you have. So it's not your fault, or it's not a weakness, or it's not you that can't memorize well, But it's a standardized school system that has taught you a lot of myths regarding memory, which have led us to believe that we're not good enough, that we're bad at memorizing. And all of this can also result in stress. And when you experience stress, this will hinder your ability to focus, to concentrate, and find it difficult to memorize anything or do anything carefully and effectively, causing an infinite vicious cycle. So if you want to learn how to memorize better for your personal or your professional language goals, the very first thing you need to do is to, first of all, accept that we all learn and we process information in very different ways. But the next thing is to uncover your learning style so that you can choose the techniques that work for you personally, and it will help you process and memorize new information or information in general more easily. So what is your learning style? Learning about learning styles could give you a really great insight into why learning in the past could have been challenging. So predominant educational systems around the world, like the classic classroom setup or classic classroom environment, do not benefit all types of learners in the same way. It's unfortunate, but often it's not intentional. The problem, though, if they are not accessible, or if they're not inclusive of all learning styles, it means that not everyone gets the chance to develop their knowledge and gets to develop their skills, causing you maybe to feel unconfident or believe that you are not capable of learning a language. So that's why some of us find it really hard to memorize information. And it really is just through traditional taught methods and techniques. So now that you know that when you're struggling to retain information or memorize something new, it's key to uncover your learning style first. So let's have a look at a few learning styles and find out what yours is, and then decide on memorization techniques that suit you personally. So I'm going to share with you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 different learning styles. It may be that you recognize yourself in more than one, but it's often that you are drawn to one or two most of the time. All right, so the first learning style is visual. So visual learners find it easier to learn by looking at pictures or at images. So they tend to close their eyes when they want to remember something and maybe think of shapes, of colors, the location of things. And effective memorization techniques for visual learners are flashcards, imagery, connecting mental images and symbols, or color coding. So maybe using highlighters. So visual learners looking at images or looking at pictures. And then we have kinesthetic learners. Kinesthetic learners, or this style, is also called tactical learners. So kinesthetic learners use movement and often want to touch things in order to memorize it. So kinesthetic learners kinesthetic learning involves a lot of hands-on experience. So think of, for example, going back to learning vocabulary of the body, think of touching or moving body parts that you want to use or that you want to remember. Effective memorization techniques for kinesthetic learners are acting things out. So imagine that you're in a room and you're doing things, you're moving your body. It's also the mirror technique. If you haven't seen this before, check out our Instagram post, because I posted something about the mirror technique not long ago. So kinesthetic learners, lots of movement and hands-on experiences. Then we've got oral learners. Awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Paula. It's really nice to see you here. Then we've got oral learners. So this style is also called auditory learning. Oral learners prefer to learn by listening to information. So they love listening to music, to podcasts, They often as well read out loud. So when they read something, they will speak to themselves to memorize things. So effective memorization techniques for oral learners or auditory learners are reading out loud, recording yourself, and then listening to the recording afterwards, using music, lyrics, or singing, rhymes, and anything that really makes a sound for you to help you memorize it. Then we've got social learners. Social learners find it easier to learn through social interaction. So they easily learn by participating in group activities. And they exchange ideas with others by conversing, so having conversations with other people. Now, effective memorization techniques for social learners are studying or working in teams, group discussions, dialogue and conversations. So social learners is all in a group or interaction with other people. Then we've got solitary learners. Solitary learners prefer to work independently, so all by themselves. So this style is also called intrapersonal learning. They feel more comfortable studying in quiet places where they usually have the ability to concentrate very well. They are known for keeping journals, setting goals and plans to be very precise or very on top of their self-analysis. So whatever study method they choose, it can be reading out loud, it can be watching videos or listening to audios, whatever they choose to do, they prefer to do it alone. So effective memorization techniques for solitary learners are independent study, using writing, reading, and observation in secluded places, so places with very little distraction. Then we have verbal learners. And verbal learners usually are very good at languages. They use a lot of words and language to memorize things. So verbal learners are also called linguistic learners and use language to learn and memorize. So it won't surprise you, like I said, it won't surprise you that they are naturally also very good or have a great ability to learn foreign languages. So they also like to explore different ways to use the language by really observing letters, groups of letters, or words and sentences, maybe grammar structures. Effective memorization techniques for verbal learners are using rhymes, wordplay, and acronyms. And they often love to read, they love to write, maybe even detailed summaries or summaries in general. They make use of bullet points or even write their own stories. Yes, so verbal learners or linguistic learners. The last one I'm going to share with you today are logical learners. So these people are very rational. So logical or mathematical learners, they use numbers, sequences, abstract visual information, and they use reason. So they look for logic and reasons that explain why to learn. So effective memorization techniques that logical learners can use are chunking information into charts and graphs, categorization or classification, and use of visual materials as well to really get a whole picture of everything. Like I said, it may be that you recognize yourself in one or more of these, and that several of these learning techniques work, memorization techniques work for you. So I want to invite you to go to our blog on the website, and it's called Your Learning Style is Yet Unique. Because in this blog, you will find various quizzes to help you discover what your learning style is. So if you're interested in what your learning style is and what techniques work for you to memorize, go to our blog at engaunite.com and search for Your Learning Style is Unique. All right, and there are quizzes there that you can take. So at Enga Unite, we pay a lot of attention to these types of learners. especially since our community are international yoga teachers and come from all types of different backgrounds, educational and cultural. So we really focus on making our resources and all the learning materials as accessible as possible. So this is why we intend to equally focus on all the learning styles in order to provide equal learning opportunities to all our students and our future students, so including you, for everyone that wants to learn how to teach yoga in English, right? So very soon, listen up, very soon, I'm launching the Yoga Vocabulary Builder, and this builder is designed to help you expand your knowledge of yogic terms and expressions so that you can cue effectively and offer well-rounded yoga classes as your authentic self. So feeling your personal self, teaching as yourself without copying your teachers or without trying to be like someone else, using your own words. So it's an interactive dictionary to help you understand words in context and unlearn inappropriate words such as phrases, non-inclusive language, outdated cues. All of that according to your learning style, providing memorization techniques that suit you personally. So on top of all the language that you need, so on top of the dictionary itself, which is all for your teaching purposes, you will receive about 3 hours of video training live with me on how to recognize your learning style, how to memorize better, to understand really what it takes to learn a language, and optimize your study techniques for an effective learning journey. So that as well, the link is in my bio. The course will be available from July and will be live for the course around the 22nd of July. So if you are interested, check the link out in my bio. But for now, sign up to the challenge first, because in the challenge, I will go through all of these points in more detail. It's a 3-day challenge to build the foundation of your international teaching career, as well as learning the vocabulary that you actually need for your classes and setting realistic goals that you can actually achieve to have success in your international career. So the link is in my bio on Instagram. I have added the link as well on Facebook. Do sign up, do not miss out on this. And remember that until the 30th of June, you can sign up for free. After that, the course will be $50 or $49. So it would be really, really a big shame if you don't sign up, because it's really, really valuable for you to build the foundation of your international career, especially if your goal is to teach internationally, or if your goal is to learn how to teach yoga in English. So quickly summarizing, memorization techniques all depend on your learning style. And the reason that it's been challenging until now is probably because you've been using the methods that you were taught in school and they are not working for you personally, right? So then I spoke about what learning styles are and the differences. So a few of the learning styles that you may recognize yourself in. To summarize, they are visual, kinesthetic, so tactical, learning through movement, oral, so auditory, by listening, social, so learning in groups, solitary, learning independently or by yourself, verbal, learning through words, rhymes, phrases, so linguistic learning, and logical, so really focus on making sense by evidence and abstract or numbers, visual information, and reason. All right, so if you want to know what your learning style is, go to the blog. Your learning style is unique. In the meantime, sign up for the challenge and check out the link in my bio to find out about the Yoga Vocabulary Builder. If you have questions about this, obviously as well, send me a message. I'm going to check right now if I see any comments. Let me see. Do you have questions about this? Any questions about memorization for yoga vocabulary? Any questions? Don't see anything coming in. All right, so if you go through the day or if you're watching the replay and you have questions about this, send me a message or send me an email at annie@engaunite.com. Go to the blog to check out to find out what your learning style is, sign up to the quiz and check out the yoga vocabulary builder in my bio or on in the Facebook group. I hope to see you again next week because we'll be back to speak about 4 types of cues that support your students. So going back to teaching skills, I'm going to speak about 4 types of cues that you need to know that support your students. I hope to see you then. It's on Wednesday at 4 p.m. CEST. Wishing you great rest of your day. Sorry. Yeah, great rest of your day and speak very, very soon. Sending you lots of love.